many favorite Kirtaneers. We like to play their bhajans. We should also constantly play the bhajans of Srila Prabhupada in the temple. Bandeham Sri Guru Sri Yuta Parakamalam. So anyway, after he died, Prabhupada wrote him a letter. A posthumous, we call it. A posthumous means after someone died. He wrote a letter. My dear Jayananda, please accept my blessings. I want to thank you for the service you did for me in this lifetime. You were the first person to give me a donation of $5,000 by which I could print Nectar of Devotion. You maintained the San Francisco Temple by driving a taxi. And you inaugurated the Ratha Yatra Festival, San Francisco, New York, etc. So I'm missing you. What is that? When spiritual master misses you, this is the awakening of love. Love is reciprocal. You serve without wanting anything in return. You endear yourself to your master. The highest position that we can achieve is to be the servant of a glorious master. We want nothing more than that. So he was thanking Jayananda, and then he said, if you had any amount of material desires still left in your heart, when you died, you've gone to Svargaloka. The race isn't over till it's over. We have a lot, Cheto Darpana Marjana, we have a lot of cleansing to do. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Go away lust, go away anger, go away greed. Be done with you. Like Krishna said to Putana, or Putana said to Krishna, go away, boy, leave my breast. So we have the same, go away. So how do, Cheto Darpana Marjana, the heart is cleansed. And then only bhakti can blossom just like the lotus flower when the sun rises. So Prabhupada said, if you had any desire, you've gone to Svargaloka. There you can fulfill those desires in that nice atmosphere and gradually promote yourself to Vaikuntha. Then he wrote, but because you were hearing the chanting of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra at the time of your death, I say you've gone to Krishna Loka. So we don't want to go to Svargaloka. We don't want to go there. Everything's peachy keen dandy. It's so nice up there. You're born sweet 16. You don't have to go through babyhood and diapers and nappies. And everyone's beautiful. Perspiration smells like roses. And the girls there, gentlemen, and the men are very handsome. So that's a distraction. Nadanam najanam nasundarim kavacham vāda. There's practically no misery. What is the misery? Prabhupada said one time on Svargaloka? The fear that the demons are coming. Because sometimes the demons attack Indra. Look at Hiranyakashipu. He took over the throne of Indradev. He ruled the demigods. Narada Muni was the foot servant of Hiranyakashipu. Did you know that? Foot servant. He was so powerful. So the only anxiety in Svargaloka is that, are the demons coming to attack us? They live in fear. And as soon as your pious activities, your pious credits run out, just like you take the hourglass with sand and you turn it upside down and the sand starts going down, you've got time. And then there's one grain. And as soon as your pious credits run out, New Delhi. Because Bart isn't what it used to be. When I first came to your country in 1970, all the men were dressed in white, and they wore those funny little caps. everything. Ladies weren't wearing blue jeans. All had nice saris or Punjabi outfits. Or you see in Rajasthan the veils. And everyone was going to the mosque or the temple or the Golden Temple. It was very different than it is now. Nelson Mandela wrote a book about his country. He said, "Cry, my beloved country. Cry, my beloved country." So sometimes I think of India like that, cry. Because I'm your adopted son. I live in Vrindavan. I don't live in New York. I have to go back to New York to preach, but my home is Braj, Vrindavan. So I'm your adopted son. I'd like to get an OCI card if there's any politicians here. That's another story. But so we don't want to go to Swargaloka. So how did Jayananda make it back to Godhead? He pleased a pure devotee. He actually admitted to one of my godbrothers, Yogesh Chandra, a week before. He said, "Yogesh, I'm a little anxiety because I still have material desire. I've only been a devotee 7 years. I have some desires. I'm a little anxious. But just see the mercy of a pure devotee. We make more advancement by blessings than we do by our strict. We have to be strict sadhakas, but it's by blessings that we actually make progress. So we want to go beyond piety. There's goodness and there's pure goodness, transcendence. And only when we've transcended all these desires that they're festering, it's a heavy word, like disease festers, festering in our heart, we can go. But the ticket back to Godhead is prem. It's love. We have to fall out of love with the material world and into love with Braj. So how do we do that? How do we fall out of love with the material world into love with Brajandanandana, Krishna? How do we develop our love for God? Not so difficult. Everyone talks about love of God, other spiritual traditions. My challenge in preaching in China, there's no concept of God. There's no word God. There's no supreme being. They worship their ancestors. Can you believe it? So how do you give a lecture in Beijing? The Supreme Personality of Godhead. Who? But because because religion's banned for the most part, it's a communist country, banned. There's no God, there's no soul. They don't have any spiritual experience, but they're spirit souls. So what happens is when I travel throughout China, we get a group of students, and I say, all of you repeat after me, and I chant the mantra. Then we have Kirtan. They all cry. It's all stored up. Everyone ultimately is looking for love, and the perfection of love is to love the person who can reciprocate with all your loving desires, now and forevermore, Krishna. So when they come in contact, Nama Chintamani Krishna's Chaitanya Rasa Vigraha with Krishna's name, they cry and cry and cry. And I'm very jealous. I don't cry when I chant Hare Krishna, but that emotion is there and it comes out like, you see sometimes a spring of water bubbles out, a new spring bubbles out and fresh water goes all over the field above it. That's what happens in China. Krishna is so kind. He comes in the form of his name, Kali Kali Nam Rup, Krishna Avatar. The incarnation for this age is the name of Krishna. Or Prabhupada said, any name. He said, you can chant Hallelujah. You can chant the Islamic name for God. Or like when I was in South Africa, I met the king of the Zulus. Zulu, Zulu, Zulu. They still live much of their old habits, the spears and the grass skirts. There's millions of them in South Africa. I made friends with the king. the king of the Zulus, King Goodwill. I was in the hospital. I'd had an operation. And I got septicemia. Doctors will know what that is. And I wasn't supposed to live, but I was like dying on the bed. And King Goodwill came to see his daughter who was in the next room. Came with his entourage and his guards and security. And he walked past my room. He saw me there. Hey, Krishna. Hey, Krishna. Krishna, Krishna, Hare. And he said, my dear boy, what's, I was 65. He was quite elderly. What's wrong? I said, oh, I'm sick. I'm praying to God. He said, what is your name for God? I said, Krishna. And I said to him, King Goodwill, so happy to meet you. What is your name for God? He said, Akula. There's unlimited names for God, denoting his majesty or his sweet Vrindavan pastimes. So I said, oh, really? Akulankula? Like, what does Akulankula mean? And get this. He said, it means that person who owns the most cows. I said, King Goodwill, we're on the same page. Because Nanda Maharaj has 900,000 cows in his Goshala. And Krishna's Govinda. He's a lover of the cows. So we became very good friends, actually. Very good friends. Sometimes I'd see him and we chant Hare Krishna. And sometimes we chant Akulankula, 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 Kula Kula, Akulank. I had to do it. He was pious and they were chanting the names of God. So, but the special mercy that we have, and we have to note this, although we respect all these religious traditions, ultimately, which come from God according to time, place, and circumstance, we have special mercy. Because how can you fall in love with someone you know nothing about? When I travel in different countries, I ask people, who is God? Oh, he's God. Okay, let's move on. Can you say something else? He lives up there. Anything else? Well, if I'm good, I go there, and I'm bad, I go to hell. Is that it? That's all you need to know. Because Jesus died for our sins. So stop sinning. You go. Okay, that may have worked in the Middle Ages or something, But how can you love someone? How can you awaken your love for God if you know nothing about him? And how much do we know? Govindam Adi Purusham Tamam Bhajami. Govindam Adi Purusham Tamam. Govindam Adi Purusham Tamam Bhajami. You know as well as I know, you've all been coming to Bhagavatam classes. We're reading the 10th canto by Prabhupada's mercy. We know everything. Again, eloquence of truth spoken concisely. Prabhupada said, we even know God's telephone number. He said that in a class. We didn't have iPhones and, fax machines. And he said, we know everything. The beautiful face, Krishna's lotus eyes, how they go to his ears, his nose like a sesame flower, lips red like bimba fruit, teeth like rows of pearl, Turibanga Sundar, he's standing bent in three places. Keshava, his hair is going down, 3 lines on his chest, broad arms, thin waist, lotus feet, with special marks on the feet. Playing what? A flute. He's playing a flute. And his consort, Vrindavaneshwari, who has the most love for him. Therefore, she's in charge of bhakti. And as she sees someone who's aspiring for bhakti, she recommends to Krishna, see this new person has just walked in the door to learn about you. Krishna, please accept that person as your devotee. We know Krishna's friends. We know his favorite foods. He loves butter. We know that God is a thief. You tell that to someone in another religion. Yes, he's a thief. What does he steal? He steals butter. Well, what kind of thief is that? No, he also steals little girls' hearts. Bhagavan Sri Krishna ke, Vrindavaneshwari Shrimati Radharani ke, Sri Brajabhumi ke, back home, back to Godhead ke, Srila Prabhupada ke. We say in Russian, "Spasibo большое." It means thank you very much. Hare Krishna. I would like to introduce you to something which can help you awaken your love for Krishna. Because Krishna appeared in his personal form, not in Vaikuntha, in Vrindavan. And the Vrindavan, which is just 2 hours away by the Yamuna Expressway now, for you, he appeared there in that Braj. There's no difference between Goloka and Gokula, Vrindavan. So you can go there and you can Shravanam Kirtanam, Krishna Smaranam. You can awaken your love for Krishna because you know so many things about him. It's very easy to fall in love with Krishna because we know so much how attractive he is. So for the last 5 years, because I was stuck by his grace in Vrindavan during COVID, I was traveling, a sannyasi could only stay in one place for 3 days. So for 54 years, I was traveling 3 days, 3 days, 3 days, 3 days. Oh, I loved it, but I was tired. I was getting a little bit tired. So, you can keep it. When COVID came, I was stuck in Vrindavan. Thank you, Krishna. And I had to do something. So what I did is I started studying Prabhupada's books, all the books of the Goswamis, and I started giving lectures on Braj. To date, I have given 734 lectures about Vrindavan. The personalities, the places, the kunds, Giriraj Govardhan, Varshana, Nandagram. I mean, it's unlimited. My godbrother Shivran Maharaj said there's 60 billion holy places in Braj. So it's only the tip of the iceberg. So my disciples have taken those lectures, which I give online on my YouTube channel. They come out every Friday. They transcribe them into books. The first book here in Hindi is about Govardhan. Giriraj Govardhanam Sivalaki in Hindi. This lecture is in English. This is Hindi. Every lecture, it took me 10 to 15 hours of research. Had to be authorized. Had to have the verses sanctioned by my senior godbrothers. Everything you need to know about Govardhan Hill is in this book, with beautiful photos as well. Then we came out, the sacred forest of Vrindavan, western bank, the Jamuna. All the holy places and what took place there, the personalities involved in those holy places, the mood, the mellow, everything you need, as much research as could be done about the western bank of the Jamuna in this book. And you can see how nice it is. Very first-class printing and full of beautiful photographs there. The next year, the eastern bank of the Jamuna. We're covering also beautiful photographs. When you go to Vrindavan, if you don't have someone to take you around, take the book. It's not a short talk about the holy place. I go on for hours and hours, Eastern. 2 weeks ago, the fourth in the series, Sri Radha and the 8 Astasakis. Haribol. This is my favorite. Vrindavaneshwari Shrimati Radharani Ki. You know, the Astasakis, the personal older girls, the Sir Shrimati Radharani. Just see beautiful illustrations. Everything to be known about Sri Radhika as much as we can. And Lalita, Vishaka, Champaklata, Induleka, Tungavidya. These things, of course, are very deep, but this is all from Prabhupada's books and the books of the Goswamis. It's authorized. We go as deep as we can, as deep as we should. So much information. So when you go to Vrindavan, go like this with these books. Heavy with knowledge. And if you already have the first 3, we don't have so many copies yet. I would recommend you get that as fast as possible. And Prabhupada never talked very much about himself, so I feel a little uncomfortable. But in my travels, it's an adventure. You can imagine going to China, going to Russia, going to Canada, going to Venezuela, going to Brazil. I went to the Amazon jungle. They have these pipes with the poison dart. Hare Krishna. I fell into quicksand. They had to pull me out. An alligator was coming. So many adventures. As I travel around the world, I keep a diary. Many of you may know, Diary of a Traveling Monk. I took the best chapters, HarperCollins, contact me, and here's the 21 best chapters of 53 years of traveling. It's called Adventures of a Traveling Monk, a memoir. And I have a nice introduction by Jay Shetty. I think you might know him. So this is kind of my life and soul here. And if you take one of these books, you get the diary too. So I'm not a salesman. I didn't come here to make money. I don't need money. My heart is rich in love for my guru, Srila Prabhupada, and the service that he's given me. But it does cost money to print them. My purpose in coming here is to help you fall out of love with New Delhi and into love with Vrindavan. So please, where's the table? This is my secretary. She'll go on.
Hare Krishna. As Maharaj explained, we have all these books at the book table over there. Devotees are standing. The cost of the book, the big book, is 2,500 rupees. If you purchase the big book...
That's not $2,500.
If you get the big book, you get the adventures free. You could read it. You could give it as gift to your friends. You can pay either by cash or by GPay. We request you to collect the books over there, and we are forming a line. You can come on the line here, and Maharaj will be happy to sign the book. Thank you.
Shri Prabhu Shri Vrindavan Dham Ke, Shri Radha Sham Ke, Vrindavaneshwari, Shrimati Radhika Ke, Hare Krishna Maha Mantra Ke, Shri Nam Prabhu Ke, Srila Prabhupada Ke, Gaur Premanande, Jai Jai Sri Radhe, Jai Jai Sri Radhe, Jai Jai Sri Radhe. Sham, 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 sham. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hari. हरे कृष्ण। जिन भी भक्तों को बुक्स लेनी है, पीछे बुक स्टॉल लगा हुआ है, वहां से बुक लाके यहाँ जहां से मंदिर की एंट्री होती है, इस साइड से एक एक करके लाइन बना के आएंगे। कोई भी धक्का मुक्की ना करे प्लीज। प्लीज मैनेज द क्राउड। कोई धक्का मुक्की ना करे, आराम से सबको मौका मिलेगा। अभी काफी देर है महाराज। एक एक करके लाइन बना के आएंगे।